Hello racers. Now, today, very interesting set of races I have filmed, because I would potentially say these two races was for the most dangerous drivers I've visibly seen on track. Hence the long intro here, just because I want to clarify a few things. Anyways, this was a group of 16. It's probably 6 more drivers than I would like to be on track with. So I'm racing with Nathan. Like I said in my previous videos, Nathan is a staff member here, and he's in front of me right now. So me and Nathan are like, yeah, we went out first. The track's looking good currently. Obviously I've got no grip yet. The karts are freezing, so not really much I can do at this point, apart from just try and get in a low 59-second lap, which I think I do anyway. Anyways, so here's the clean lap. At this point I'm thinking, nah, this is too good to be true. The entire race is going to go wrong from here on out. So there, someone's coming out the pit lane, which means it was all slow again on the pit lane, and someone's already spun here. Nathan tries to, well, Nathan does go around the outside, and yeah, I'm not being stereotypical about people who wear these helmet covers, but the racing capabilities are generally shocking. Like, the awareness just isn't there. Like, he closed the gap on me when I was going to go for the inside line, and it didn't even he didn't even look at what he was doing. Anyways, here's the flag checks. You get the amber flag, go back to green, and then yeah, we go to straight red. So I'm using this amber flag to catch up to Nathan a little bit, due to me being held back by the very unaware driver with the helmet suit, the helmet cover. And you can see me and Nathan do this proper here. When there's a red flag, the last thing you should be doing is slamming on your brakes. You know, like those two in front. If you slam on your brakes, you are going to skid out. Especially if you're going through a tighter part of the track. So now we're just waiting for the race to resume. And again, someone spun out there because they've obviously broke over in the chicane, but they're not really in any danger. Me and Nathan decide we'll go through the inside line try here. Every gap he takes, I try to follow him. That's the best way to race if there's two fast racers on track. In fact, James this guy closes me out, completely unaware that I'm there. Quite a dangerous move. Do just no space. And yeah, apologies for the slight overtake on the yellow flag there. I was too busy concentrating on staying with Nathan. But at the end of the day, I would have had to have got past him anyway. It's not like I was overtaking a position unfairly. Right, we're back racing. Like I said, this is I don't know, I'd say at least 10 drivers in this race. Maybe that's too harsh. 8 drivers in this race were just absolutely appalling. I did my absolute best to race as well as I could. Like, the speed here is, yeah. I'm sorry if you were like there slamming on the brake on the corner. I'm shaking my head at Nathan, thinking, why? It's simple physics. If you're turning a corner and you lock on your brakes, yeah, you're going sideways. I do query whether anyone had a driving license in this race. Again, another yellow flag. This was the story of my 2 sessions, pretty much. I'm pretty sure on the last lap I do post a 58.9. You'll see what I do on the last lap. I'm quite cheeky about it, to be honest. I purposely bullet through the line and then slam on my brakes just so I can maximise the lap time. Anyways, you'll see what I mean when it comes to that. So we're still on amber. Pretty long time for a flag. I do hate long amber flags, long red flags, because I've literally raced to heat up my tyres and I've lost the entire temperature I've gained in all those laps within half a lap. So yeah, back to green anyway. Yeah, there's a few people who's actually somewhat decent, like this guy in purple suit here. Apart from going super wide and then trying to cut in really narrow, he probably could have had a better look to see that I was there, because he essentially closed a gap that he left wide open, which can be quite dangerous. I did let off the accelerator considerably, just because I was kind of expecting it, just by how the other drivers were acting. But yeah, there was probably 5 or 6 of them on this race who was actually alright. And now I'm behind James. Now, James here was he in car 22? He's another staff member, so I'm now sandwiched in between Nathan behind me and James in front of me. This is kind of the free pack that I wanted for both races. Fortunately, we did get it this race. I think the next race was a bit lonely. But the second race was way more dangerous than this one. It might not look that bad, because I'm coping well, and I am doing things. There's just no need to brake through corners. You brake before you hit the apex, and then you turn into the apex, or you just let off. It's simple physics. I'm sure Stephen Hawkins would tell you that, and he, I mean, he's not been able to drive since he was a teenager, I guess. So I'm following James. I think this might be the lap actually where I do the best switchback ever I've ever done on this track. It is simply a work of art. Forgive my ego there, but it was just good. I'm hoping it's this next lap when I come through the chicanes. I can see that my car is faster than James's. Yeah, on the straights I'm having to let off a little bit, but here is the switchback of dreams. I put pressure on him there by coming in narrow. I push him narrow there, and then I take the switchback. And then I do the same again, I take this switchback. And now I've got the inside line, and there we go. That's probably the nicest pass you can do for someone who's capable of doing 58s all day long. If that's not an example to go by, if you want to safely overtake someone on this track, then yeah, just watch that 100 times and you'll be good. So you see this person here use the brakes, like use the brakes there, use the brakes underneath. It's so easy to just skid out. I think by doing that though, I might have given myself a bit of gap to Nathan, who's behind me. Nathan and James, sorry. It's a bit hard. The only difference between them two is literally the helmet. Nathan's got a very nice custom helmet design, which I do like a lot. You see that person is broke there again, and I'm there. Like, if I wasn't aware of the driving styles, and I was a relatively new racer, I could have crashed so many times through other people's mistakes right now. But I have been on the top of my game, so I should say, and it has been relatively. It's been safe because I've made it safe, but the drivers were genuinely terrible. Like the video is showing you that. I'm not saying that from my own opinion. You can see everything that everyone's doing wrong, and it's mainly just braking. It is very annoying because I said this in my last video. When there's slower drivers, and there's another yellow flag. I'm not sure what this one's for yet. Yeah, as I said in the last video, the worst drivers, inexperienced drivers, they tend to get in your way without meaning to get in your way. But I found that this race and the next race, they was that unaware that they was getting in my way and not even trying to get out my way. If that makes sense. So if I wasn't thinking, if I lacked concentration, you know, multiple times this race, people were getting hit. But when you've had a few races with races like this, you do get used to it, you do adapt. I'm really not posting any lap times right now. If anything, it's just a race between me and Nathan and James. You know, the two staff members sat behind me. We always have fun. Like, I've not raced with Nathan a lot. The last video was the first time I've raced with him. I actually asked him to come and book on with me today, just because I know he's equally as fast. I do actually give Nathan my GoPro in because he does a third race, so I will upload that video as well. So yeah, as you can see, I mean, looking ahead, you'd expect, yeah, the track's quite clear, but you just catch up to traffic way too quickly. I think 3 of the drivers were doing 1 minute 20-second laps every lap in both sessions. No improvement over the sessions, which I find really hard. I'm not even bothered that I missed the apex there completely, because this lap was going to be a write-off anyway. I let Nathan pass there because I got a terrible first sector, and there's no point in holding up other drivers. Well, it doesn't really matter, there's yellow flag anyway. There's no point in holding up other drivers if you're going to ruin their lap time, because you're only going to ruin your lap time and their lap time, if your lap was even any good. I'm not sure how someone's even crashed into that wall there. Come around the corner, slammed on the brakes and just went straight into the tyre wall. That's my ultimate guess. But yeah, this was a very stressful race. Every single time you felt there was a good lap coming on, there was just a yellow flag. Literally every lap. So if anyone thinks that I'm purposely racing, trying to race on my own or stuff, just for better lap times, well, I'm trying to prove people wrong here. I do a 58 in this race, magically, and that's probably down to my big brain move on the very last lap, which, when we come to shortly, I will explain exactly why I did it. So, I think this is where I realised my kart's pretty fast. I can see that Nathan was far ahead of me. He's looking behind me, seeing where I am, and I'm slowly catching him up. I say slowly, I'm catching up quite fast, mainly because I've definitely got the straight line speed over him, and that's just how the cookie crumbles in Teamsport go-karts. These Evo 3 karts, they just have a mind of their own sometimes. Like, one day they're absolutely rapid on the straights, and then the next day they just suck. So this lap here, right, I see this guy here, I just go straight through and then I slam on right after the finish line. Now, why did I do that? First of all, the inexperienced driver took the racing line and was going very slow. Second of all, Nathan went to get the inside line. So I was thinking, well, I've had a clear lap up to now. I can't let this lap be ruined. So my theory was there to accelerate, continue past the finish line, so I got the absolute maximum best lap time I could possibly get. Because if I had to brake and take the corner early, like Nathan did, I'd have lost probably 0.2 seconds and I wouldn't have got a 58. So by accelerating through the finish line and then slamming on my brakes, when I've gone about 5 foot past the finish line, I've carried maximum speed through the finish line, which you wouldn't normally do if you took the racing line. And also, I knew by slamming on, my kart would probably do a 180, which it did. But I've only done it there because it was safe to do so. By braking when I broke, once I skidded out, I could happily turn around with ease without causing disruption to the race. I didn't skid out, spin out on the apex itself. I span out completely in the middle of the outer chicane. Yeah, and that's exactly the things you've got to do sometimes to get a good lap time. Like I said, that was a 58.9 that last lap, but it would have been a 59.1, 59.2 if I had to do other things, aka brake early.